Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet. And welcome to part 2 of Splinterlands 101. This episode, Getting Started. My co-host for the show again, Matt Clark. Welcome.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. And so we're going to break today's episode into a couple of parts of getting started. Firstly, if most people who are going to be watching this video, chances are you're already on Hive. So we're going to show you how to get started on Splinterlands if you're on Hive. But then if you're watching this video on some other platform, whether it be YouTube, Odyssey, something different, or you've just simply come across a link or a post, but you're not on Hive, we'll show you how to get started without a Hive account as well. Before we get into today's episode, firstly, like last week, I mentioned that there will be a curation competition for the comment on the post which receives the most engagement, and they will receive 10% of the post rewards. There's a very clear winner from last week, which is GeoTrix. So if you check your Hive wallet, you'll see that you have received 10% into your wallet. It should be there already now if you want to check it. And for the following week, just remember, if you want 10% of the rewards of the post, all you have to do is make a comment and engage. So if someone replies to your comment, reply to the reply. If we'd appreciate it also if you like and share, but it's not necessary for the competition. Competition is about engagement. Okay, so let's get rolling into that. Now, if you're on Hive and you've thought about it before, or you haven't thought about it, but the time is right now, and you want to get started on Splinterlands, what's the first step, Matt?
So the first step would be just to head to my affiliate link. No, just kidding.
I'll pop that below. That'll be in the blog section of the post, Matt's affiliate link.
So the splinterlands.com will get you there, but so you want to head over there, and if you already have an account, that will be your account name in Splinterlands if you already have a Hive account. So jump in there, start playing. Literally just jump in and start playing. There are no limitations or problems. There's no issues. However, if you want to start earning from it, then you'll need to buy the Summoner's Spellbook for $10 worth of a range of cryptos. So it's a big drop-down menu there. Which crypto do you want to pay with? And there's a whole lot of options. Tron, Wax, EOS, I think off the top of my head. There's a lot. There's like 20 different options there to obviously Hive, HBD. I think Steam's still in there. So $10, and that will give you permission to then earn on your winnings, on your victories for ranked battles. So at the moment, that'll be Dark Energy Crystals for once you're in Silver. I think it's Silver. You'll get the Dark Energy Crystals for wins. Soon there'll also be SPS rewards for wins. It'll also let you do other things, enter tournaments, win daily quest chests and season reward chests. So you can absolutely jump in and play for free as long as you like, without buying the Summoner's Spellbook. But yeah, to earn, that's what you'll need to do. And again, that's an anti-bot mechanism, so that we can't just have an army of 100,000 sign up through a script and then just harvest rewards.
So if someone's like just watching this video now, and they just jump straight over to splinterlands.com on the website, it's like, well, is there like a big button that says join, or like how does it go?
No, well, I mean, so what you'll want to do is generally, if you have a Hive account, you also have Hive Keychain, the browser extension. So that takes, and that's definitely worth talking about. That will take your either your individual keys or your owner key. It won't actually save the owner key anywhere, but it will use that to generate your other keys, your active and posting and memo. You set a local password that's whatever you want, and the only way somebody could hack that is if they were actually at your PC or laptop with that particular browser. They'd open the browser. It then says, okay, enter your keychain password that you yourself have set, and then it will let you in, and then it manages all your keys. So when you're clicking on Splinterlands to say, I want to do this, I want to do that, it will automatically detect which key needs to be used, and send through not the key itself, but a token demonstrating that you are the owner of the key. So it's actually very safe. It doesn't send your keys over the internet. It doesn't send your keys over Wi-Fi. All it sends from your device is a token proving that you have the active key or the posting key, whichever is required for the transaction that you're doing. And that Hive keychain will get you into all sorts of other games and apps in the Hive ecosystem. I use it to play dcity.io, rabona.io, which is a soccer manager game. They all use the Hive keychain, and that includes peakd.com. So that's absolutely the best way to get into the ecosystem, start using things. So if you're already a Hive user, there's a very, very good chance that you already have that Hive keychain installed, and you just use that to start playing, to log in on the Splinterlands site using your existing keys, type in your username, and away you go. Hit ranked. Ranked is very few people play practice. After you get to about silver, there's very few practice matches that will actually pair you up, because not many people are doing it. Normally people just learn playing ranked, but there is also a learn section, and you can use that it'll show you a really cool, fun little, there's some characters that pop up and help you through your journey, little text boxes that say, right, now here's what we need to do. And they're really
the Microsoft Office paperclip, like
far less frustrating, and yeah, I understood this. Yeah, no, far less obnoxious than that. And they'll take you through and explain the mana, explain the rule sets, how that how that affects things. Picking your summoner, staying within the mana cap, picking your monsters, and so that's a really good jumping off point. And then from then, it's really just about playing ranked games, watching them, learning from your experiences, and getting started. So that's how somebody with an existing Hive account would get started. Somebody who has no exposure to the chain, they can absolutely jump into. That's how a lot of people actually are introduced to the chain, is through Splinterlands. For those people, when they arrive, they'll need email address and password. So give us your email address, set a password to log in, and that will give them the ability to play, not to earn rewards, but the ability to play, log in, a few other bits and pieces. When somebody who's had a bit of the play is decided that they really want to engage with this thing now, and it's time to take it to the next level, when they buy the Summoner's Spellbook, when you're, take a step back, when you are logging in with your email address and password, you'll be given a placeholder name, because all of the different accounts that are playing the game, because it's decentralized, they need to give you a Hive account, but they'll put you in one temporarily. It's like a rental. They use the example of chairs at a restaurant versus chairs at home, right? So you need to sit down to eat, but when you're at a restaurant, you're just renting one of their chairs for a little while. Whereas when you actually buy the Summoner Spellbook, then the game will give you the opportunity to say, okay, we're gonna take you out of that temporary chair. That can go to somebody else who's just trying out the game. And now that you've paid the $10 US, that covers the cost for the game to actually start a new account on the Hive blockchain too, because there are costs involved in that. When you do that, then you're given the option to add your name and any stats that you have, win rates, what level you've achieved, that type of thing. That all carries across, right? So whatever history you've had, if you've played for a week, all of those details carry across to your new Hive account, and from then on, that's how you play. And you can use that same account, like I said. You want to get the Hive keychain browser extension, which we might want to put a link to that below at the bottom of the post. Use the Hive keychain browser extension, and then you can not only play Splinterlands, but also all those other games. It's sort of the ticket to the entire Hive ecosystem, is having that account and also having the keychain browser extension.
All right. So we'll just break that down into steps. So go back to the first scenario where someone's already on Hive. And as you mentioned, if they're already in Hive, they've probably already got the keychain extension. I have, and I use it every time I turn my computer on. First time I go to my Hive account and actually do something, I put in my personally chosen, easy to remember password. Not too easy to remember, mind you. I put in my password. I'm good to go on the Hive platform. So if I then open up another tab and go to Splinterlands, I'm already logged into Splinterlands because I've already logged into my Hive account. But I've got a Splinterlands account. So if you're on Hive, you've got your Hive keychain, you've logged into Hive, so you can actually go to your wallet, you can play around, you've got the permissions active, and you say, okay, so I've already got all this. Now I want my Splinterlands account. So they open a new tab, they go to splinterlands.com. What's the first thing they're gonna see that they need to do?
Right. So I guess the person who already has everything, who already has their Hive account and the keychain installed, they literally click the login button, type in their username, and hit go or post, or I'm not sure what the button is, or even enter, and you automatically be logged into the game. So
Okay, it's
you're
that easy.
logged in, and you can. It is that straightforward, yeah. Because
okay.
the browser extension was created by the same genius, Yabba P. Matt, who is behind a lot, well, pretty much all of the Splinterlands coding, architecture. So he designed it, as a tool that the ecosystem desperately needed. So everything works together because he's designed everything together. So it's like anything. When the first time you do it, you say, "Oh, what am I doing? How's it all going?" My keychain browser extension has probably 15 different accounts loaded into it. So if I was to lose my laptop, then first off, you can't get the keys from it unless you know the password that I've chosen. So even if somebody was to steal my laptop and get to unlock it to actually open it, they would need to also then know what my Hive keychain password is to get in and then start stealing keys and the like. So if I lost it though, then I would need to take my other copy of my keys and then load in the new keys via re-download Hive keychain into the new browser and then load those keys back in there again. I'm not sure if there is a way to transfer across, perhaps. I haven't looked into it, to be honest, but it's a local storage. It's a way of locally storing your keys in a very safe manner, and the Hive keychain will take care of all of that for you. Knowing which key to use, you don't need to remember anything except your one password to log into the extension. So that's for everybody. When you are somebody who's new and you've got the placeholder account and you pay your $10 for this Summon a Spellbook, then when you select your new username, which will be your Hive account name, you can then continue to log in using your email address and password. It just means that the Splinterlands company, the actual game itself, is looking after your keys for you. When you want to engage more deeply with the game and be more self-sufficient, then you can request. There's a button there in the drop-down menu when you click your username. You can request your keys. Now you can only do that once, and they will send out the email to the email address that started the account, and then they're basically supplying you your copy of your keys, and that's when you can put them in Hive keychain and away you go. Until then, you can just use email address and log in like any other Web 2.0 experience. But there are things that you can't do until you've actually got your keys, but you can absolutely learn a great deal, really get a feel for the architecture of the game, get going, have a Hive account, earn rewards. It just means that if you're wanting to sell cards or something like that, you're going to need to have your actual keys that you need to ask the game for when you're ready to take custody. You can also then change your keys so that the game doesn't have them, but then of course if you mess up and lose them, then the game can't help you. Whereas if you never change them, there's a good chance if you reach out to the support guys, they can say, "Oh, well, you haven't changed them, so we've still got a safely tucked away copy there."
Okay. Now I remember back in the day, first when I first joined Steam, the whole, I think it was go to their page and email address, phone number, so they send you a text. But it was like 2 weeks or something before you could actually get an account. And I imagine Hive would work that way still at the moment. So if you don't have a Hive account, starting with the Splinterlands interface is probably an easier way to get a Hive account. Is that right?
Yes, I agree. Absolutely, I agree. And I think if you're new to crypto and you're not used to key management and it's all a little bit overwhelming, then Splinterlands is definitely the easiest way to get involved, to get your account, to get a bit of support there. And as well, if you then, like I said, you request your keys, you've got a copy, that's great, don't lose it. But worst case scenario, this business, who are very, very good at everything that they do, have that backup, that copy there. Whereas if you start an account some other way, and there's plenty of different ways to start a Hive blockchain account, some easier than others. Go to peakd.com and have a look. There's, it's all there. Click through. Javi and Asgarth, the guys who run that site, also do an excellent job. But of course, you generate your keys, and then you are personally responsible for them. So if that's a little bit intimidating, then Splinterlands is going to be your kind of entry into this for somebody who's got no real background or experience with key management. So yeah, agreed. Definitely the best way to get into the chain.
All right. So for someone brand new with no Hive account, they've gone to Splinterlands, they've given their email address and phone number to get started. How long before they could expect a reply so that they can start playing?
I don't think they need a phone number. I've not heard of a phone number. I thought it was just email address. Yeah,
I don't, because I was already on the blockchain, but I remember when I
me
first
too,
started the blockchain, they had to send me an SMS code to a mobile phone.
Yep. Yeah, I'm very confident that Splinterlands doesn't do that. They just need the email address and your chosen password. So, sorry, what was the rest of the question?
How long would you expect to wait after doing that initial step? So you've gone to Splinterlands, you've given your email address. It's not like 2 weeks like the original blockchain.
No. I believe it's all automated. So if it was longer than even a few minutes, I'd be surprised. I've not heard of any complaints in Discord or anything from anyone saying, "Oh, I made the account, but nothing's come up." I would suggest you'd be in pretty much straight away. So
okay,
we've had days where 15,000 people have signed up on the same day, and that hasn't been a problem at all. So yeah, there's no one guy there manually sorting through them all like in the early days of Steam. We've come a long way from that. So
excellent. All right, so brand new. I've gone to splinterlands.com. I've given my email address. I've got a reply. It's like, what is it? A temporary username and a temporary password?
No. So I mean, you won't once you start using your keys in the Hive keychain extension, you won't need a password anymore because the keychain will do that for you.
I mean, from the first creation. So someone with no Hive account that's gone to Splinterlands.
Yep.
They've supplied their email address. They've got the reply. What information are they giving you that you can then use to log in, or is that what you just said?
You'll just use that email address and password. So they will assign you one of those temporary accounts, one of those you're only in it for a while, and when you either, I think if you stop playing for a couple of months, then they will just reassign it to somebody else, because a Hive account is a valuable thing. It's taking up bandwidth. It's it's something that's not inconsequential. And it's not something that the Splinterlands team are in charge of, right? Once it's created, that's it. There's no, and that's getting more into blockchain architecture. But once that's created, that exists effectively forever. And for a while there, people would arrive and they'd want to check it out, so the team would make them an account. But then they get sick of it and left. And it's like, well, there's that account name is now taken forever. There is a permanent record on the chain of that account existing. We're starting to inflate the chain with all these ghost accounts that we used for a couple of days, and then people moved on. Oh, it's not for me, or what have you. And so they decided to move to this other model where come in, give it a try. Once you pony up your own dough, when you pay the $10 for the Summon the Spellbook, then we'll create an account for you, and the temporary account that you've been using, it'll be Acolyte 317 or Trainee 264 or something like that. It's just a placeholder. So when you log in with your email address and password, you'll be logged in as that account name. Battle, play, have fun, and when you decide to pick a username, and actually in the background they'll make you a Hive account, then it becomes email address and password. Still sign in, but you'll be logged in as that new username. and then when you request your keys, then you are entirely in charge. So it's almost like a parent sort of slowly letting the kids have more and more freedom as they get more and more used to more and more self-sufficient, because the whole point of blockchain is that it's decentralized. So you are entirely in charge of it yourself. And there are tools there to help you with that. But as soon as the game says, all you need to do is just sign in like this, like your email address and password, and we'll take care of everything for you, then you're back in centralized Web 2.0 world. And that's what we're getting away from, right? So it starts very much like the Web 2.0 experience, but then as you explore and develop, you'll eventually come to the point where, okay, my account is governed by my keys, which are held on my computer, and it's my business, and I'm entirely in charge, which is the joy of blockchain.
Yeah. So just to expand on your parent-child analogy, it's like saying, "Oh, Dad, can I borrow the car?" It's like, "Yeah, here's the key." You're transgressing to like, "Okay, look, here's your key." So you don't have to ask anymore. You've got the key, you can jump in the car, drive it whenever you want.
That's exactly right. Yeah. It's similar to when you're sitting on Dad's lap when you're younger, and okay, I'll let you steer, but he's still controlling the keys. And he's controlling the accelerator, and you're just sort of turning the wheel a little bit. And if things get out of hand, he's there to. But eventually, you need to to have the freedom of driving. You need to be entirely in the driver's seat with your own key, and So that's it's a good way to look at it.
All right. So let's assume that someone who's going to create a Splinterlands account wants to actually play and earn, because the interface, if you just want to check it out or have a look, it's simple enough that we've gone through that clearly. So I've created a new account. I want to earn. So how do I get my spellbook? Is that obvious?
Yep. On the main page, it says, if you'd like to earn, you would need to buy a summon spellbook. You can click there, and that'll give you a range of different cryptocurrencies that you can pay with, or credit card, PayPal. There's all sorts of different options there that they will accept, because obviously they recognize that for many people, this is their first foray into the blockchain world. They might not have any crypto. They won't have any Bitcoin or Litecoin or any of those other options. So they've made it very, very user-friendly. So you just click on it, say, yes, I will buy the Summoner Spellbook. And then you've got a couple of different options, whether that's fiat, credit card, PayPal, etc., or crypto. And it's all just picking from very, very easy to recognize menu options.
Yeah. I remember when... Sorry, go on.
Yep. Well, just from then, there's nothing else that you need to do. Once you've bought that Summoner Spellbook and, again, chosen a username that's not already on the chain as an existing account, this is all relatively immediate. From there, you'll just battle like you've been doing before you bought the Summoner Spellbook, but at the end of the battle, it will pop up with you've won some dark energy crystals, which is the in-game currency. And you will also start getting quests where it say, right, now you need to win 5 battles with the water splinter, or win 3 battles without using any neutral monsters, or win 5 battles with the fire splinter. And they don't need to be in sequence. They can, you can have 20 battles and only win 7 of them, and 3 of them can be with earth or one of the other splinters, as long as every time you win one with the required splinter, or that matches the the quest, then you'll see another little chest added, another little tick leading up to the chest. And then when you get there, then you can open a chest and claim those daily rewards, and you do that every day. And there are a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people who do that every day. Log in, do my quest, climb the leagues a little bit, maybe go from one league into another, finish my daily quest. If I'm close to the next league, I'll climb a little bit more, so I get more chests for when I do claim my daily rewards. And then at the end of the season, there's the big bonanza of the season rewards, which is a lot more chests than what you'd win in your daily quests. So so there's nothing that you need to do in order to start earning. Once you've got the Summoner Spellbook and you've chosen your account name, you just start playing. And it's important to note that there are, in the lower ranks, the rewards are not fantastic. There's a couple of reasons for that. First off, if your investment's only been minimal, then they can't afford to overly compensate or overly reward accounts that have only paid that $10 immediately. because then you get the bot armies coming in again, and they can code everything and the like. So really what you need to do is start battling up, and with your basic Phantom cards, you can battle and you can win, and you can win your way up into silver. And that's when you start making some decent, more reasonable rewards. You can, again, this takes a while, but there are options to help. So you can rent cards, which is something I imagine we'll talk about in a future edition. You can rent cards from other people who own them, but don't need to play with them right now. So they've actually lodged them on the rental market. You can rent them for a day, a week, whatever they're up for, and use that to help you climb, and using your winnings to pay for it. Or you can let your reward cards that you get in chests, let those slowly build up, combine them, and get more powerful in battle.
All right.
And slowly climb the ranks that way. Otherwise, you can invest. Obviously, it doesn't just need to be the $10 summoner spellbook. You can then say, well, I also want to, I've got $50 or $60 here. I want to buy some packs. I want to buy some cards off the market. You can then buy credits with your PayPal or any other cryptos. You can buy credits in the game, and that will let you go shopping in the market. You can buy cards. You can buy packs. So there's plenty of options once you're in. But I guess tonight we're just talking about getting in, starting the game.
I remember not too long ago. In fact, you were. This leads into another question, when because it's been so long ago that I created mine, when my friend Gio was getting involved. We got to the summoner spell book, and he did it on PayPal. It was instant, so he was in straight away. But even we were talking to you at the same time on Discord while we were doing that. So someone brand new, they've gone in, they've bought their summoner spellbook on PayPal, so they're literally good to go. But if they're confused about any aspect of this, or if they've got any questions, where do they go for instant help?
Yeah. So Discord is my preference. Personally, I spend a lot of time on Discord, pretty much every day. I know a lot of others do. They're a great community there, and if you've got that problem, then I imagine plenty of other people have had that same problem. So drop by and say hello. Great crowd in there. Nobody's going to treat you like you're stupid for not getting it straight off. It's a very, very kind and supportive environment in there. Telegram is another big one. I know some of our locals here in Adelaide, where I'm based, are big Telegram users, so they spend a lot of time in there. But there are frequently asked questions on the Splinterlands.com site that you can use to jump in there and find out. There's also Start Here in Discord, where you can jump in, and they've got a whole range of questions that people often ask when they first arrive, when they say, I'm confused about this, or I don't understand this. It's all there. All you need to do is do a little bit of clicking and reading, and if it's not there immediately when you land in Discord or Telegram, you can then just go and ask, and there's somebody who'll say, yep, no worries, paste the answer in, and away you go. And support too, to make sure, is it all, are you following okay? Did that fix it? That sort of, because we want people in this game, right? The players, the team, we want people to come in and enjoy this and see what we love, right? To experience what we love, because it is a fantastic game, and I think it has a bright future. And I think if we can get to the point where we've got people actually earning a reasonable amount of money from this, from anywhere in the world, then that breaks down a lot of barriers, right? And it gives people options that they haven't had in the past. I'm a big fan of the game, and so a lot of us are here not just because we're gamers and not just because we're interested in crypto, but ideologically, right? And so if you've taken the time to want to express an interest in this game, and you've wanted to learn, and you've rocked up and you've started to ask questions, nobody's going to treat you like you're stupid, right? All you're going to get is people who genuinely want to help.
Yeah, and there will be a link in the blog section of the post to the Discord server room for Splinterlands. And just on that too, like if you're watching this video somewhere other than on the Hive blockchain, there will be a link to the blog article. So if you're just watching this video and thinking, what are they talking about? There's a link to this and link to that. And This video is produced on 3Speak on the Hive blockchain, and is a full written blog article with pictures, links. So anything we've talked about, if you're on the Hive blockchain, you'll see all of this. If you're watching it somewhere else, click on the link so you actually get the written supplement that goes with this video on the Hive blockchain. So it sounds really simple to me. Like everything you've said, it sounds too simple. Is it really that simple, Matt?
It is simple. I think if you stop and consider that effectively on a broad strokes, if we look at it very broadly conceptually, blockchains are difficult to comprehend and they bring a lot of challenges and inefficiencies, but they do what we haven't been able to do before. So there's a lot of promises and there's a lot of potential there. The people behind this game recognize those truths and have done everything they can to make it as simple as possible, while still recognizing that we need to depart from what we've done in the past. This is if we want to capitalize on the benefits that a blockchain provides, this is the way that we need to do it. And so everything about this process has been very, very well thought out by people who've given it a lot of time and attention. Even the selection of the Hive blockchain in the first place as the place to build the game. Originally, they built it on Steam, which then forked, and you know the game moved to the forked version. But Steam and Hive share, for the most part, infrastructure. The design is the same. So
Yeah.
the team specifically chose this layout, this design of blockchain, as opposed to Ethereum with high gas fees or any of the other options. You know, take for example in Ethereum, if you want to do anything in Ethereum, you need to already have Ethereum to pay the gas fee to do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you don't need to have Hive to get started. You don't need to have dark energy crystals to pay any gas fees, and that's been deliberately chosen for that reason.
Yeah, I deliberately avoid anything that I know is going to be on an Ethereum base, and the gas fees are just like, you know,
yeah.
You can
And
look at
that's not personal. I I've got a lot of time for Vitalik and I've got a lot of time for Ethereum, but yeah, my personal take on it is I wish them a lot of luck. But I tried to do a transaction on Ethereum yesterday and I had just not quite enough. It was $270 worth of Ethereum to do the transaction, and I had 250 or something like that. And I thought, I'll check again in a week and see if the gas prices come down.
Yeah.
That's not a fun, that's not a chain that you can build a fun high transaction game on. And Splinterlands has, I think, heard the Agrode saying the other day that daily Splinterlands itself does 3 times the transactions of Ethereum. So one dApp on the Hive blockchain does 3 times more transactions than all of Ethereum every day. Where's the future, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be on the chain that's doing the most transactions
Yeah.
and can do so many more. And this is one game of potentially hundreds that will end up being on the Hive blockchain. And if you have the browser extension and you have the account, then you're not limited to just Splinterlands. You can play those other games, and they'll develop and grow in time as more people have more ideas and spin up new games. And I think for a game designer, it is a really beneficial place to start looking at, where do I design my game? If you're an indie game developer and you can go to a place where you can build your game, where you know that you have hundreds of thousands of people who already have an account for your game, right? You have a captured audience and they want your game to succeed. Yeah. And you've got a pre-built player base. I mean, where else would you want to build if you as long as you just know that it exists? I think that's the big one. And as more people start to work it out, game developers will start building on Hive because they know. I mean, here I am. I'm a gamer. I'm interested in any project that starts on Hive, and I already have an account in your game. You haven't even designed it yet. You haven't even thought of it yet, and I've already got an account for it, right?
Yeah.
And I can move some funds in there. If I like what you're doing, I can then speculate. And so you've got this immediate instant entry into a world where not only do you have an established player base of enthusiastic, fairly well-established gamers with money already in the ecosystem, but you're also largely free to design your game however you like and have it touch on the blockchain as much or as little as you decide.
Yeah.
So there's so much to like there for game developers, and I think as they arrive, then we have that network effect come in. And I'm sick of signing in. Web 2.0, I'm sick of having different passwords and usernames for dozens and dozens of different sites and having them all recorded separately. I love the idea of, okay, Keychain's going to take care of it all for me, and I'm Matt Clark there and there and there. What's my username on Rabona? It's Matt Clark. What's my username on D-City? It's Matt Clark. Right? So, and I'll run into the same guy on 3 different games, and oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, I know. You just beat me in Splinterlands. We're playing a soccer match together. So it's, I really think we have a bright future here. And so if you're up in the air and you're not sure if this is something that you want to pursue, jump in, get some momentum, get to know the guys on Discord. And often, when a new game's even being talked about, you'll hear the buzz, right? You hear the buzz on Discord, you'll see it on Hive. And the developers of Splinterlands have said many times, if you want to build a game here, come and talk to us. We'll help you. We've got bolt-on software that you can just use. We want to help you in, use Hive Keychain. We want to help with all of this because they get it, right? They understand that this is how we win. So yeah.
I remember when I was helping set my friend up, like from his PayPal transaction for the $10 spellbook, within 5 minutes he's playing the game. And the next episode we'll go into buying individual cards or buying packs or whatever. But if someone wants to jump in, so let's just say, I mean, if you went to Steam, STEAM, and bought a video game, you get a new game, you can be spending like a couple $100 just to buy a game. So if you want to get into this, if you put $50 US into the game, you can buy some, cards individually, or you can buy packs or whatever. And we'll discuss that in detail with the next episode. But to stick with the theme of what we're doing now, someone's just got started, they've got their spell book, to really understand what's going on. They're on Discord, they've got immediate help. What do you think a brand new person should put in to really experience the game? $20, $50 US or?
Yeah, I think I've known many people who've started the game, and then within sort of a month or so, they've said, "Oh, this is great. I kind of wish I'd gone in a bit heavier, a bit earlier with the money that I've moved in." My personal take is, this is the best parts of a video game, and it's the best parts of a crypto investment. And so with a crypto investment, you obviously want to put it in as much as you can, as much as you can, I guess, as much as you want to speculate with and can afford to lose. So in that regard, I'd say it's up to your personal financial circumstances, the situation. You can have an engaging experience just with the $10 summon a spellbook.
Okay.
But you're going to want to play that daily quest, every day, and a little bit more, do a few more battles, and really learn and burrow in and talk in Discord. And there's a lot of kind, supportive people in Discord. You want to rent cards, but if you just play with the Summoner Spellbook and you play for say 6 months, then you could expect to be in high in the silver leagues or even low in the gold leagues by the end of that time. As long as you're not looking to cash out, right? So it's about building momentum. It's the snowball. So there's a lot of people say, well, how much can I earn per day? And it's like, well, that's me personally, a lot. I'm making a lot per day in this game. And if I wanted to pull it out, I could continue to just pull out a lot of money every day. But that's because I've reinvested all my earnings for the last 3 years. So if you rock up with a $10 Summoner Spellbook and that's it, and then you're starting to or how much money can I pull out? That mindset's not going to serve you well. What you want to do is you want to start looking at, I want to stockpile cards. I want to combine to get to the next level. I want to have a look at each card. If a card beats me, I want to do a bit of research, dig in, right? Look at the stats. Why did he beat me? What were the abilities and the like? So you actually really learn and engage. So this is not a passive crypto investment opportunity. If you like the look of the game and you think it's got a bright future and you don't want to play, then buy SPS. That's your just, at arm's length. I think it's good, but I don't want to engage. Just buy the SPS, right, and just let it sit there. Stake it, roll in the staking rewards, and treat it as an entirely crypto, any other good crypto investment. If you want to play it as a video game, I recommend building momentum slowly over time. And when you're thinking, I want to treat myself, then break out the credit card and pop another $50 in there, buy the credits, and then that card that's just beaten you, 3 or 4 times, and you've seen it, and you've gone, okay, I see the problem now. He's got sniped, so he's hitting my cards in the back row. I want one of them so I can dish out the damage myself. Go to the market, buy them with the credits, and once you have it, that's it. It's yours.
Yep.
You bought the card once, and that's it. That's your card now, and that's the joy of it. It's ownership, which is why we're in blockchain in the first place. So you can use that card from now until the end of time. You can combine that card together with other copies to make it stronger. You can put it on the rental market and let others play with it. It's giving you collection power to help you go up through the leagues, to help get you through the to help you qualify for the next league. You need a certain amount of collection power. So that card is part of your collection. And I think if you look at this as a game of building your collection rather than a game of how much crypto can I pull out of this game, then a year from now, you'll be looking at it and say, well, this is incredible. I got this great card collection. I know what I'm doing. I just won a tournament and I've actually won some serious crypto here. That's when you start thinking, I might turn this into Bitcoin, or I might treat myself. But the longer you spend reinvesting, the happier you're going to be, and build that collection. I've got cards that I've never played with. All I've done is I've bought them to put them on the rental market, and I figure, well, I think this is an undervalued card. I buy this card. So there's so many different games going on here. There's the ranked battle play, there's the tournaments, but there's also the game of speculating on which cards are going to be popular, which cards are going to be undervalued, overvalued. There's one card, the Exploding Dwarf, that only has 1 health. Now, when the Equalizer rule set was announced, which is every unit on the field has the same health as the highest health card, my immediate thought was, okay, so all these one health cards that are real glass cannons, they're going to be very handy in that Equalizer rule set. So I jumped onto the market and I bought up a whole lot of Exploding Dwarf cards. Now that's been a great investment for me, and they've really ballooned. So even if I didn't play, I would still, I think, enjoy it as a speculative game, buying and selling cards. There's some people that will buy out of edition packs, believing that they're going to go up in value, and they'll just sit on them to sell them down the road back into the third party market. So there are games within games, and I think the more you engage with it and the more you familiarize yourself with it, the better you're going to be at spotting those opportunities and then capitalizing on them.
Yeah, and I think too at the moment, like what I know now, which is nowhere near what you know, but what I know now about the game, I can make a more informed decision rather than just buying random cards or beginner approach. Wow, that card looks really cool. When you're buying cards, you know what that card is. You've done a little bit of research. You've seen how it performs in battle, or you've had your own ass kicked by it in someone else's battle. And all the details Matt was just going into then about qualities and aspects of cards. If you're wondering what he's talking about, then you're definitely not going to want to miss the next episode, because we're going to go into detail on the next episode on the cards themselves. And if you have any questions about anything that we've covered, please put a comment below. Also engage with us on Discord community to do that. But remembering the engagement competition, any question, any feedback, anything at all about this episode, write a comment below, or if you have suggestions for future episodes, comment below, and someone will win 10% of the post rewards for the following week as well, by whichever comment on this receives the most engagement. So anything in wrapping up there, Matt? Anything, last words? Or
no, I think we've covered it well. I've got a lot more to say about the game, obviously. I can tell my enthusiasm shines through. but we have other episodes for that, so I'll continue
Yeah.
to look forward to that and enjoy joining you again.
All right. So remember, once a week, and each episode that comes out will be getting deeper and deeper into the game. So whatever level you're at, beginner, newbie, or seasoned, there's going to be something for everyone in this series. I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. And can you remember, Matt, from last week? Can you remember how to disappear?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We clicked, don't we?
Yeah, we'll do it on
we clicked.
3, all right? So I'm Boba Fett. Peace out.